Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today we're going to be talking about a pair of Michigan Panthers running backs who are both going to the NFL in Stevie Scott and DeAndre Torrey, one of which you probably know and one of which you probably don't. So, as for DeAndre Torrey, not to be that guy, but he is a literal unknown player, even in the USFL sense, in a sense that he ended up literally playing a game at the end of the year. He got 2 carries for 3 yards, so take with that what you will. But Stevie Scott, very solid. Him, Reggie Corbin, helped make that backfield really solid. He ended up having 310 yards, which was tied for 12th. He also had 3 touchdowns on the ground, and that's despite not even being the main running back. He was picked 4th in the 27th round of the draft. So very solid. So as Stevie Scott, he's headed to the Broncos, and then, DeAndre Torrey's heading to the Eagles. As for the Eagles depth chart, their starter is Miles Sanders, and their backup is Kenneth Gainwell, and then 3rd string Boston Scott, and 4th string Jason Huntley. As for the Broncos, their starter is Javonte Williams, 2nd stringer is Melvin Gordon, 3rd string Mike Boone, and 4th string Max Borghi. As for the Broncos depth chart in terms of Stevie Scott, Max Borghi is the undrafted free agent rookie of the group. He was with the Colts, I believe, for a little bit, and now he's on Denver. Mike Boone, he's been playing a little bit in the league, but his second year with Minnesota was his best year, and even then he only had 270 yards. Though he did, average 5.6 yards, so that is pretty solid. But overall, he's kind of just a very low-end depth guy. Melvin Gordon, him and Javonte Williams are supposed to pretty much split the carries again, and they were both very solid players. Melvin Gordon being the higher-known guy because he was a first-round pick in 2015. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. Last year, he ended up having 900 yards rushing as well as a couple hundred receiving to just get over the 1,000-yard scrimmage mark. In fact, he broke 1,100. And he's had over 1,100 scrimmage yards in all but 2 years of his career, so very solid player. And then Javonte Williams is the unknown, out-of-nowhere star of the team, as even though he was a second-round pick, he kind of became a lot better than most people expected. Despite it being his rookie year, he ended up having 900 rush yards, as well as 300 yards receiving to break 1,200, and he only fumbled the ball twice. And considering that he was a rookie and he wasn't even the real starter, as it was Melvin Gordon, that's pretty impressive. So, definitely very solid top 2 running backs, sort of like the Packers yesterday, or today. So, yeah. As for the Eagles depth chart, their 4th stringer, Jason Huntley, was a 5th-round pick by Detroit in 2020. He hasn't really done anything aside from, get a couple carries, just like a late-round pick kind of guy. But this is where it gets weird. Boston Scott, I don't know what it is, but it seems that, every year, because I'm pretty sure even his rookie year he did something in the playoffs, just out of nowhere, he'll have to come in for a game or two, and he'll be one of the best running backs in football for that week or two. It's every year it happens at least once. He doesn't play in any game aside from special teams, and he starts a couple games, and you end up saying, oh, he had over 300 yards rushing. Well, he had, most of them in, a 2 or 3 game span. It's just weird career so far. I mean, he, came in that one time in the playoffs in a great game. I mean, he's done it in the season. He's a weird player, but when he does play, he usually plays really well. It's just not, a sustainable thing. It's kind of like how Nick Foles was viewed for a little while, where he's great in short doses, but, not great as a full-time starter. Kind of like that, but to an even bigger extreme. As for Kenneth Gainwell, he was a 5th-round pick in 2021. In his rookie year, he ended up having 290 yards rushing while not even being the real starting running back. As remember, this team did have Jordan Howard as well. And he ended up having 250 yards receiving, which is pretty impressive to almost match your rushing as a running back. Very solid player to have as your backup running back. And then Miles Sanders, 2nd-round pick in 2019. He is the type of guy where if he's fully healthy, he probably can be a Pro Bowler. When you look at the last 2 years, he missed a 4th of the season, and he still ended up having 1,000 and 900 yards from scrimmage, respectively. And his rookie year of having 1,300 was while not being the full starter and as a rookie. It's why he finished 4th in Rookie of the Year voting. So if he had a full year doing what he's been doing the last couple of years, he legit might be a Pro Bowl running back. But sadly, he's been a very injury-prone. Not in the sense of, a torn ACL or Achilles, every year kind of thing, Sam Bradford type thing. But just more or less, he gets these minor injuries and stuff, and he misses games. It's just annoying, but very solid when healthy. So As for where our two running backs are going to go, I think that Stevie Scott being on the Broncos is very good for him because he's definitely the better running back of the two. And he definitely is on the easier team to go up on the roster. And I say that because I think that as for Torrey, I don't think he's going to be a third stringer. His best is fourth. I think the Eagles are going to keep having Boston Scott be that third string type running back, come in every once in a while. So I don't see him getting ahead of him. I only see him getting ahead of maybe Huntley. Whereas for Stevie, he could definitely get ahead of Max Borky and Mike Boone. So he's definitely in the better situation. So we'll see. This has been Zom Fox. If you enjoy this content, I know Fox as soon as I upload any videos. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. And as always, have a great night.